Right now, I believe we are about to be joined by Alabama head coach Nick Saban, and that is indeed the truth. So let's welcome in Nick Saban, the Alabama head coach from the DirecTV mobile studio. And Coach, we're just having a conversation about what you have to do against teams like yourself from the SEC once you hit that national championship game. What do you think the difference is between SEC teams, especially when you put them in the championship format, that style of a game, against everybody else out there from those other conferences?
Well, there's a lot of good teams in the country, and there's a lot of good other conferences, but I do think the competition in our league and the parity in our league, you know, last year at the end of the season, we had 5 out of 6 teams in our division in the West that were in the top 20, actually prepares you to play in those kinds of games, you know, those kinds of big, difficult, tough games. And I think the intangibles that your players learn in being a relentless competitor, being able to finish, being able to focus on the things that you need to, I think those are probably the things that benefit you the most when you got to play in that many big games in a season.
Well, Coach, let's get into your team specifically a little bit. Had a conversation about Julio Jones a little earlier, not just what you missed from him as far as receiving, but what do you do? Is there a replacement in the way of what he provided as far as blocking on the perimeter for your running backs?
Well, I think Julio Jones, you know, probably redefined the culture of the receiver position at the University of Alabama because of the toughness, the relentless competitor that he was, the great person, the leadership, how he affected everyone else. So that's not going to get replaced by one guy. You know, our whole team is going to have to contribute to filling that void, not only in his blocking, his toughness, his effort, his competitive spirit, but also his playmaking ability.
Well, Coach, we know that you really get excited when you see a very good secondary out there and you're very hands-on when it comes to that position. Give us your overall view of the talent level you have right now in the secondary and what they have to do to live up to the hype that you're hearing right now in the preseason.
Well, I think the most important thing is, you know, we do have some good players. They did gain some knowledge and experience last year. All of them were first-year players except for Mark Barron. But how they use that experience, whether it creates a comfort zone for them or whether they take it as a challenge to play to a higher standard, what they invest in themselves and the team are all going to determine how well they play and how much success they have this year. And you know, it's a critical part of your team. You know, you control big plays, a lot of turnovers can be made in the secondary. So you know, this is a group that can impact our team in a positive way, and I've been pleased with the progress that they've made in this offseason.
Coach, heard that you were just out there at the Winfrey Hotel signing almost endless autographs for all the Alabama fans there in attendance, especially in the wake of the tragic offseason this program has had, the state in general. Describe the bond that you feel you now share as a head coach of the Alabama Crimson Tide with the people of the state of Alabama.
Well, I don't think there's any question, even though this is one of the most devastating things that we've ever experienced in our lifetime, probably the most, that it did things to galvanize the community, to galvanize the people in the state. And I've been very proud to be a part of a state that has responded in a very positive way to support and help those devastated by this, you know, terrible tornado. So, you know, there's still a lot of work to do. We certainly appreciate the efforts of so many people who have worked so hard to, you know, help those affected, but there's still a lot of work to be done.
Well, Coach, we certainly do appreciate you stopping by the DirecTV mobile studio and sharing a few moments with us. Thank you, Coach.
Well, thank you.
We saw